So, favorite writer, and of course, this is another one Dave's not going to agree with me on. Favorite artist of the year. Okay, so keep in mind what I said about this not necessarily being reflective of the industry as a whole, but my experience as a reader in 2011. There are a lot of great artists working in alternative and mainstream comics. For me, this year, there was a particular artist whose work made me not only excited by the work itself that they were doing this year, but also really changed my perspective on this artist's career to the point where I've taken a look at their older material. And for the last few months, there's probably no artist who I've been excited about more than this creator. So Rob Liefeld is my choice for Best Artist of 2011. Now, I'm kind of laughing a little bit just because I know like Dave doesn't agree with me and a lot of people won't agree with me. But I do want to make it clear I'm not choosing Rob Liefeld to be ironic, right, or funny, or to just be contrary to what other people are going to choose in their best of years. I really genuinely feel that Rob Liefeld is a hugely talented creator who has been criminally sort of maligned by a lot of comic book fans, myself included, in the past few years. So let me quickly build my case for Rob Liefeld and why 2011 was an appropriate year to choose him as my favorite artist. And I mean that with all sincerity. Okay, so the only one of the 52 books, or 52 creators I'm talking about here is Rob Liefeld. For his work on Hawk and Dove. That is the book that made me want to look at more work that he had done. So I went over to The Infinite, which is a very good book, published by Image Comics, co-created and written by Robert Kirkman of The Walking Dead fame. So if you guys like Robert Kirkman, you should be checking out this book for sure. It's a great book about a time traveler who recruits his younger self as well as a larger group of mercenaries to defeat this criminal organization. And I love that book because I feel, one, it's just really solidly written and really well drawn. The character designs that Liefeld's done here are just phenomenal. But I like that Hickman, I think, seems to be really kind of pushing Rob Liefeld to be Rob Liefeld. He's I think, trying to bring out a lot of the tropes that Liefeld is known for. You know, big characters, a lot of gear, time travel, and it's just a really terrific book. So Infinite is very good. Hawk and Dove is quite entertaining. I mean, it's kind of silly, stupid, but it's fun. And just the fact that Liefeld is doing 2 books right now, 2 monthly comic books, drawing 2 monthly comic books. It's not a lot of artists are doing. Pretty impressive. He's sort of recently reevaluated his career and his commitment to actually sitting down and drawing comics. And has decided, you know, I want to kind of step up my game and kind of do as, he's not as prolific as Jack Kirby, but like, you know, John Byrne and a lot of the artists who inspired him were, and really, you know, kind of put his money where his mouth is and produce a larger body of work. So for the fact that he's producing 2 very good series in 2011 is part of the reason why I chose him for the Artist of the Year. He also announced this year that he is going to be bringing back Extreme Studios, which was his branch of Image Comics where he created a lot of creator-owned characters. So he's going to be relaunching a lot of those characters in 2012 with different creative teams. He's also he's already has an Evangeline, or however you pronounce that character's name, series going. So that's coming out now. So I think that speaks to his creativity and the durability of these characters who he's created. And also, Marvel has wonderfully put out some nice hardcover premiere editions of perhaps his finest work, and the work for which he became really famous back in the early 90s, X-Force. So they are reprinting that material, and I've been rereading that and just loving the hell out of it. There's 3 hardcovers, including the end of the New Mutants run that launched X-Force that Marvel has put out. At least 2 of those did come out this year in 2011. And they're just terrific. I mean, to me, the art looks fantastic. And, you know, I always go back to, Liefeld's work at Marvel. I mean, look at the characters he created. Cable, Deadpool, X-Force. I mean, these are characters who are still in play, still vital. Cable is involved in this big crossover that, Marvel's got coming up. I mean, a lot of people have made a lot of money, and a lot of people have gotten a lot of entertainment out of reading books that Rob Liefeld has either had a direct hand in or that are based on concepts that he created. So for the fact that he has this really great career that I think people have not fully appreciated, that is now being reprinted, and also his new commitment to doing 2 monthly books and the upcoming stuff in 2012, for me makes Rob Liefeld more than worthy of a slot as best artist. I'm going to say best of 2011.
Okay.
Did I convince you a little bit? Because I know you don't really like
I've heard this stuff before,
you don't really get the whole Rob Liefeld thing.
Yeah, I don't really. That's okay, though.
Well, the thing about Liefeld, though, too, just one more thing. What are the criticisms against him? Like, he doesn't, do, good anatomy. Okay, it's impressive if you can, draw, the human muscles and foot and stuff, but I think it's more impressive if you created Cable.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And again, might kind of go towards what I'm interested in, this kind of down and dirty kind of aesthetic, kind of casting aside literary pretensions. There's something just really great about both the work Rob Liefeld's doing now and when he was younger. It's just creating all these really terrific, fun concepts, and that really is the overriding word with Rob Liefeld's work, is just fun. So I love him. It was a revelation for me to look again at that work, which I had been dismissive of, and be like, we were wrong about this. Rob Liefeld has given a lot to the comics industry, and I look forward to seeing what he's going to do next.
All right, sounds good. I already talked about Jeremy Bastian, who I think would have probably been my favorite artist of the year. Great panel arrangements, beautiful artwork. But since I've already talked about him, I think I'm going to go on to Sonny Lowe as my favorite artist of the year.
I like him.
Yeah, and they a couple of years ago he released a book called Wonderland that brought him to my attention. It was just a beautifully illustrated all ages title that continued the story of Wonderland after Alice left.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a wonderful graphic novel. If anyone wants to check it out, it's fantastic. This year there was a Malinky Robot was released, which is collected short stories of his, which mostly follow these 2 little kids in a big city in Japan. They're kind of homeless, but there's things like robots that come into it, and I don't know, all kinds of fun little things. But it's really cute. But I just love his art. He's really, I don't know, it's almost a little messy, but very intricate. He has a really nice color palette. I think his color palette is kind of muted, but it's really beautiful and suits his art style. So yeah, that's mine for the year, Sonny Lowe.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I haven't actually sat down and read any of his comics, I don't think, but
he's done a few things here and there. He did an issue of a Marvel comic, Spider-Man or something like that, and just various little things. But this collects things from Flight and other stuff that's been out there. So
very cool.
Good stuff. Very pretty.
Very cool.
Yeah, I like pretty.
Yeah, I think that's a good. I think that's a good choice for sure. I need to take a closer look at his stuff. Okay.